Hey everyone, and welcome back to VFX5 once again. So in today's video we are going to see how we can retain hair detail while doing keying. Yes, many of you have asked to make a detailed video about how to retain hair detail while doing keying. So in today's video, we are going to use multiple tips and tricks to retain hair detail or any kind of detail. It will be applicable to each and every keying operations. It might possible this video will be little longer, but be with me and trust me, we are going to learn multiple tips and tricks while doing keying of hair. So without wasting any time, let's jump to screen. Okay. As you can see over here, I have a footage, and if you want to practice along, you can go and you can download this footage on Tears of Steel website. I'll probably link to the description, or if you want, you can download it for free on my website as well. So let's start with keying. First thing first, what we need to do before starting any kind of keying, just try to understand how much grain we have in our footage, right? So to see grain, we have to go to blue channel, because in blue channel most of our grain is visible, but it doesn't mean that grain is not available in red channel. Also we have grain in red channel as well and green channel as well, but in blue we have most of the grain, right? So as you can see over here, we have a lots of grain. So first thing first, before starting keying, our first target should be to remove grain, right? So I'm going to use reduce noise. You can use a denoise node of Nuke, which comes by default, right? So I'm going over here and let's prepare noise profile, and I have to draw a reference, and I am going to directly click on auto profile. After generating auto profile, you have to click on apply. Multiple times I have discussed that thing. If you're taking any kind of pattern of noise, the surface should be flat, right? After removing your grain, let's check. I'm going to blue channel one more time, and if I'm going to check my actual reference and my reduced noise, I can see lots of difference, right? But at the same time, I'm not losing any detail of my hair and any detail of my edge, so it's pretty good to start. After reducing noise, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start my matte generation, and in my matte generation process, I'm going to split into two parts. One will be your soft matte and another one will be your hard matte, right? So for soft matte, I normally prefer IBK color, and again, this is my process which I am sharing. It might possible you can start with key light, it might possible you can start with any other keyer as well, but I am taking you through my process which I am following for all these kind of stuffs, right? So I'm going to generate a clean plate for doing IBK keying, because as you know, IBK is a subtractive keying method. So first thing first, we need to generate a clean plate, and then you have to subtract your original plate from clean plate, right? So I'm going over here, and definitely we have green plate, so we have to select green. Most of the time what I do, normally I used to do 0. After doing it, I can see my detail is still pending, so probably I can start tweaking my darks and lights, and as I'm going to get my bursting kind of stuff, definitely I can reduce my lights. Probably this will work for me, and as I can see, it's still I'm not getting the good result, but yeah, I think it's all okay for me, right? It's all okay for me. Still I'm not getting my results, but you need not to worry. We have erode, we can directly start and using it erode. I'm going to copy it, paste it, and in this I'm going to use size as 1, and probably I'll start patching it back, right? But as you can see, I'm not getting green because my detail were left out. So let me increase erode to capture this, something like that. It might possible your footage or your way of working is not like that, but this is the way how I work, right? So now if I can see, I'm getting good result, right? Can you see that? Same way, I'm going to Control C, Control V, and this time patch black should be 2. Again, I'm saying this is not the only way to do that, but yeah, I found this way working fine for me, so I'm using it. You can create clean plate in one IBK color node, it's all up to you. So I'm not going to quote it ki what is the right, what is the wrong. Every way of doing it a right way, because at the end of the day it should work. Okay, so I'm done with my patching, but still I can see I am not having neat and clean plate because I'm getting some result left out. So probably I'll try to cover it as much as possible. So now I'm thinking my clean plate is all done, and after doing clean plate, now I'm going to take a node called IBK Gizmo. Obviously we will have three inputs, C for clean plate and FG for foreground, right? And now here I'm going to use C green, and as you can see over here, all my hair detail already intact, but I'm getting hole in my these areas. And don't trust your alpha like this, just slide down your gamma, and if you can see we have lots of hole over here, right? So here I would like to introduce my core mat. So yes, this will be my soft mat, and again for core mat you can use key light, you can use pre-mat, it's all up to you. So I'm going to use my key light, right? So let's connect over here and let's do that. So I'm going to pick green, right? And over here in screen mat roughly, and in core mat I don't want to take care about any kind of hair detail, because a hair detail already we have in our IBK setup, right? Or in soft mat. So lower it down as you can see. So try to fill your this thing core mat with the white, but as you can see we are not getting good results. So what I can do, I can take a roto node and I will try to fill my alpha like this. So this is again you can use, right? And again after that I am going to take a channel merge, right? Because why not? I need to merge two channels, especially alpha. So I am getting my core mat obvious over here, and again I'll take a channel merge and I'm going to add my core mat with my soft mat, something like that, right? So there will be a problem, I'm going to solve it. So let's rename it. This will be my soft mat, right? And this will be my core mat, and this will be my mat merge, something like that. This is my mat merge where my soft mat and core mat is merged, right? So till here I'm getting everything well and good. So to check it, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a constant node with 0.5 gray, and just I'm going to take a merge node and let's merge it, something like that. So now I'm getting a good result, but although it's not a good result because we are not going to use directly our output like this, right? So after splitting my core mat and my soft mat, what we have to do, we have to split our processes into two further parts, which we call it a alpha process and RGB process. So basically my soft mat and core mat comes under alpha process, and now what we have to do, we have to feed my alpha, this alpha what we have generated, to my RGB process, right? So how we can do that? Here we have alpha. So let's take a copy node. Let's connect over here. Let's connect over here. And as I can see, I'm getting my alpha, which we have generated over here, right? After that, what we have to do, we have to use a pre-mult node to pre-multiply your alpha with RGB. And once we are going to do that, you can easily see we are having our green outlines as well. So to remove it, we have to follow a process which we call it a despill process. And again, despill process, based on your requirement, you can split your despill process into two parts. One is core despilling and another one is edge despilling. If required, we are going to use edge despill separately and core despilling separately as well. But don't worry, I'll let you know both the processes, right? Now, if I'm going to connect my background over here just to check, and as we are expecting, everywhere we are getting green, right? So how to fix it? If you want to know despilling in a better way, I have already created one video, detailed video, where I have used multiple gizmos. But in this case, I'm not going to use all those gizmos. I'm going to use key light only to despill it. So let's do that. And directly I'm going to use one over here to despill my green, all green. And here, as you can see, I'm not having any kind of green. But you can easily see I'm having some hard edges over here. Can you see that? Because that hard edge is coming from this alpha. Can you see that? So what we have to do, we have to take a erode node and let's erode it a little bit, something like that. And let's add a edge blur node as well to soften it, something like that. Probably I can soften a little more depending upon our requirement. Now you can easily see I'm not having any kind of hard edges. Can you see that? It's all soft. So once this is done, we can start tweaking things more, right? So just keep it in mind, whenever you are doing despilling, you are changing or you are modifying your luminance value as well. So what you have to do, you have to add your luminance back to your original plate, right? So how I can do that? Just take a merge node, just connect over here where you are despilling it, and another input to your original input, something like that, and just use minus or difference, right? Something like that. So once you are using difference, what will happen? Automatically your green will come because we have removed green over here and we have original green over here. And after doing that, just use a saturation node to desaturate your plate, because I don't want green, because the initial idea was to remove green, right? And again, take a merge node over here and just plus it, your luminance value, because green having the most luminance, right? So what we have done by doing despilling, we lost some sort of luminance value, and by doing this, we have added our luminance value back. Correct? Can you see that over here? So this process, we call it Luma Retention. And this is, we call it despilling and Luma Retention. Despill plus Luma, right? And it might possible we can call it a core despill. But in this case, we are not having any kind of effect where I can use my edge despilling. To demonstrate it, I have different file. Let me take you over there and let me show you where you can use edge despilling. Because why? Now let's understand why we need to add despilling. So sometimes what happens whenever we are shooting on green screen, your green spill is coming very harsh on edges of your character. And by using your despill process code or overall despill process, it not possible to remove those harsh green spill. To compensate that, we have to restrict our despilling in two parts, like edge despilling and core despilling. So in this case, we are not having any kind of that harsh green, because we have lots of distance between chroma and character. So let me open another file and let me show it to you how we can use edge despilling, right? Okay. Over here, as you can see, I have splitted my edge despill and core despill like this. So same way I did my core despilling and luminance retention. And same way here I have used my key light to edge despill. Then same way Luma retention, and same way I have merged it, right? So let me show it to you how I did that. Let me delete it, right? And let me take one key light, right? So hit tab, key light. So before starting anything, let's see why we need to do edge despilling. Because over here you can see I'm having good amount of despilling, but can you see over here some sort of green is coming at the edges? Can you see that? So it's not possible to fix it in this despilling. So we have to treat it separately, right? So just take a key light, just do one over here, right? Same way, take a merge node. This should be B, this should be A to retain my luminance value. And let's difference it. right? Something like that. Put one over here. And then again, take a saturation node and desaturate it. Let's take a merge and plus it. Now it might possibly can say this is the same process, but here is the catch, right? In Keylight, to fix it, what I'm going to do, I'm going to check my alpha bias, click on picker and hold on control and start picking color. So as I'm going to start picking my color, can you see my color is changed to skin color? Can you check that? And this is the beauty of edge despill. Now, as you can see, let me show it to you difference between this and this. This is my core despill where green is coming. This is my edge despill where I fix the green kind of stuff, right? Now I can key mix it. So here I have a key mix. Let's use A over B, and to mix it, I have used my core despill because I don't want everywhere to use it. Again, this is my core despill, and in core despill as well, you can see I have inverted my matte because I wanted to use it at a edge, but you need to restrict it because I'm getting some sort of color over here. I don't want to use my edge despilling over here. So you can take a roto node and you can mask it till over here. Can you see that? It's matching pretty fine. So this is the way you can use your edge despilling and core despilling separately, right? Hope this is clear to everyone. Now let's jump over here, but here I don't need to use any kind of edge despilling because I'm not getting any kind of harsh detail or harsh spilling as well, right? After doing everything like edge despilling and core despilling, what else you can do? I'm going to add my background over here just to see what I'm getting, right? Already I have made my background. It's just a still images and reformatted. I defocused it. I added some transform node or some tracking because there is a motion or there is movement in my footage, as you can see over here, right? Let me check. Now I am getting very bad result, obvious, right? Somehow I have to fix it, right? To add more detail, you can use additive keyer. You can use multiple things, right? So let's start with adding additive keyer. I'm going to use additive keyer. Already I made a pretty basic video regarding additive keyer, so you can go in and you can check, right? So in additive keyer, we have foreground, we have clean plate, we have mask, right? So this will be my background, obvious. It will be added in the background. And now we have to add clean plate. So this is my clean plate. So I'm going to use a dot node. Multiple things you can use, right? And in foreground, you have to use your foreground. This, right? Something like that you can use. And once you can see through it, more detail you can add. Can you see that? You can add more detail. And the best part is you can start using your dark and lights. Can you see that? You can use your darks and lights. And if you are using darks, can you see your more detail is coming? Something like that. So you can use it. But still, we are not getting the good result. We are having white, white, white. So already I have made several detailed video how to blend. But let's do that. There are multiple ways to do that. Let me take a key light one more time and let's pick one pixel over here, right? And again, I can use a key mix node. Let's add it and let's take a roto shape. And probably I'll use this area, right? And just key mix it. Let's see what's happening. Let's go over here. And as you can see, my problem is solved, but I'm getting edge, dark edge due to additive keyer, I think. Yes, due to additive keyer. So we don't need to use that much additive keyer in that much amount. So whatever we need, we can use it. We can deset it, but I don't think so it's needed. Same way you can use it over here as well. So I can take another key light node. I can take, see, there are multiple ways to do that. We can use color smear as well, but I think this is the way how I prefer. You can try multiple things. So again, let's take a picker, and this time I'm going to pick 1 pixel from this area. Just take a key mix. See, there are multiple ways. It might possible you can say, no, this is not a right way to do that. But yes, you can use multiple techniques, right? Again and again, I'm saying you can use multiple techniques to fix those problems. There are lots of technique to fix it. This is the way. Again, remember, I have to animate that thing. So this will be the process. Again, I'm having good result, but here is the crux. In additive keyer, you can use or you can change light condition of highlight as well by using this value. Can you see that? So if you want little brighter values over here, you can use it. If you want to give any light tint, yes, you can do it. Light tint from this place. But in this case, I don't think so. Any light detail we need. So if I'm going to spend some more time to add some detail, to tweak those values, I can easily do it. So this is the way how I proceeded further for any kind of hair detail I'm getting, any kind of motion blur detail I'm having. So this will be the process which 90% time it works for me. But 10% time, yes, you have to tweak it, you have to use different methods. But most of the cases, it will work. Again, you have to spend some more time to add some more detail. I think the way I showed you the difference between edge despill and core despilling, like additive keyer by using additive keyer. Again, if you don't want to use additive keyer, you can use multiply divide technique as well to add more hair detail. But keep it in mind, our multiply divide method, you are not able to control the dark of the dark and highlight of the bright, right? So additive keyer, in that case, we have good control over dark and lights over here as well. So I'll definitely recommend to use additive keyer. There are multiple tools regarding additive keyer on Nukepedia. I'm using additive keyer pro tool from Nuke survival toolkit by Tony Leons. Already I have made a detailed video how to install it and how to use those tools. So I hope this video will help you to understand the process of retaining hair detail while doing keying. And if you think that this video is helping you, please don't forget to like this video, share this video, and if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. With this said, this is VFX5 signing off. Have a good day.